Hey guys, Emma here, also known as 8 Vinyl Low, bringing you guys another video. Today's video is going to be another kind of record haul update. This is the video that I was kind of talking about in my Chicagoland record collecting show video from a estate sale that I went to when I was around the Chicagoland area for a weekend a couple weeks ago. So finally getting around to posting this video and showing you guys the records that I got from that. So brief story about this estate sale. As is with springtime and kind of the beginning of summer-ish, a lot of people are kind of getting rid of their record collections and sending them off to thrift shops and doing garage sales and whatnot, and it's a very good time for us collectors to add really good records to our collection for most of the time very good prices. So I saw that while I was in the Chicagoland area there was an estate sale, and they had posted a bunch of other things, but one thing that caught my eye was a record collection that was in the basement. That was all for sale. And so, but I noticed that the estate sale had been going on for 2 days already, and that this day that I saw it, that I was planning on going, was the last day. So I'm thinking in my head at this point, you know, probably it's been completely picked through, you know, everyone's kind of dug through it. There's not going to be any really good releases there, or the entire collection might be gone for someone buying it in bulk. But it was only about 5 minutes away, so I gave it a chance. Got there, went down to the basement, completely empty. There was nobody down there, but just boxes of records. And so there was nobody digging through them, and there were just boxes and boxes and boxes. So I'm thinking, this is great, but has it been picked over? And one of the ladies who was kind of running the estate sale came down and said, "Oh, I'm happy you're going through those. Nobody's gone through them yet." And I'm thinking, nobody's gone through them yet? There's a lot of good records here. And she's like, yeah, people just haven't gone through them. I'm happy that someone's going through them. So that was really cool to know. I was starting to go through them, and I noticed that at least 2 or 3 out of the 5 boxes, all the records were just beat. There was like 2 boxes that just had complete horrible water damage on the records, on the covers. The covers were just ripped to shreds. Some really, really good albums, and it broke my heart to see and to leave those behind. But there were 2 boxes of records where everything was great and the records were in awesome condition, so I ended up picking through those and picking out some really good records for my collection. So I will stop kind of blabbering about that story and show you guys what I picked up. So I picked up first here, I'll show you Led Zeppelin's Presence, released in 1976. I believe that this is their 7th studio album by Zeppelin. What's fun about this record is that Robert Plant had gotten, well, it's not fun, he got in a car accident, I believe, before recording this album, and ended up recording his vocals in a wheelchair. And so, you know, I'm not a singer, but I know that to sing sitting down and singing confined to a wheelchair would not produce the best, or, you know, the best of the best that you can give. So I think it was hard for him to do that, but it's an interesting story kind of with this record. It starts with Achilles' Last Stand, which I think is the powerhouse of this record. It's definitely not one of Zeppelin's best, but it is a Zeppelin record, and even Led Zeppelin's worst, in my opinion, is some of rock's best. So that's my quote. So, it also has Nobody's Fault But Mine, which is another strong track off of this record. The cover's kind of dirty there, but the vinyl's in pristine condition, so you can't complain. But happy to grab this. also found, and I didn't know, I knew a little bit about this band, but after doing more research and listening to this album, I got really excited because I really enjoyed the sound of at least this album. I'll have to dig more into this band's stuff, but I grabbed Mountain's Nantucket Sleighride record from 1971. It is their second studio album, and it is a heavy rock album for those of you familiar with Mountain. What's really fascinating about Mountain and about this record and about the influence of Mountain and all that is that you have an American band, which is Mountain, who was heavily influenced by kind of the British blues boom of the late 60s, heavily influenced particularly by Cream, and Felix Pappalardi, who produced a lot of Cream's records, ends up playing on this record, I believe. But I know he does stuff with Mountain. And so you have an American band influenced by a British blues band that was influenced by American blues, you know, Chicago blues, stuff like that. So it's interesting to see how kind of music goes full circle here. And you get that with this heavy rock kind of stepping stone to what later becomes kind of that heavy metal sound. So great album. Leslie West plays guitar on here and sounds absolutely phenomenal. You Can't Get Away is a great track on here, as well as The Great Train Robbery, and the title track is also a great tune with a catchy melody. So I didn't know a lot about this band before I picked this up, but I listened to this record and loved it, and decided to do more research, and I'm excited to learn more and to listen to more Mountain. So grab that. Alright, kind of doing a 180 here. I also picked up Styx's Pieces of 8 record from 1978. This is their most famous probably album. It went triple platinum, completely launched Styx's career into the mainstream, I'd say. Contains songs like Blue Collar Man and Renegade. Renegade's probably my favorite Styx song. I'm not huge into Styx, but this album, it's a good album, and it has, like I said, those two songs that I mentioned, so great songs. Classic Styx, you get the vocal harmonies and the synths and all of that, so you know, for 50 cents or whatever this was at the sale, it was in absolutely probably near mint condition. It's awesome, so yeah, pick this up. Also couldn't leave this one behind, and I will tell you why. It is 38 Special's Special Forces from 1982. It has the song Caught Up in You in it, which is one of 38 Special's most well-known songs. It was written by actually Jim Peterick. And for those of you who are not familiar with Jim Peterick, Jim is a native close to where I'm originally from. He's a native of Berwyn, Illinois. And you might know Jim Peterick from his work with the Chicago band The Ides of March, who produced their most famous album, which is Vehicle. Title track off that album is their famous song. But Jim also did work with the band Survivor, co-founder of that, wrote Eye of the Tiger, and all of that stuff in Survivor, so I'm a big Survivor fan, big Jim Peterick fan. And then he also did work with 38 Special and a bunch of other bands. I am like I said, a huge Jim Peterick fan in general. The Ides of March will always hold a special place in my heart. They are the first band that I've ever seen in concert when I was young, maybe 9-10 years old. And for those of you who watched my intro video, you know that I collect guitar picks also. Jim threw me my first guitar pick when I was 10 or 11. And I absolutely fell in love with the Ides of March, and really got into Jim Peterick, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. He's the nicest guy in the world. You know, I've known him now for a while. Not that I know him, but I've been seeing him in concert for, you know, 10, 11, 12 years now. So, love Jim Peterick. Awesome songwriter, but an even better person. So, yes. So, pick that up. Continuing with this talk of British blues from earlier, I have Bad Company's Run with Pack album from 1976. It is the third studio album from Bad Company on the Swan Song label. It covered the Coasters' Youngblood, which is a highlight of this record in my opinion. And yeah, I've been kind of building up my Bad Company collection, so I was excited to get this for 50 cents or whatever it was, in very good condition. Also grabbed Nazareth's Loud and Proud. This is a band that I'm trying to listen to and get into. I've been seeing a lot of people in the VC talk about Nazareth, so I thought that I would give them a go, and at this garage sale, estate sale, I saw this, so I grabbed it. It was released in 1973, their fourth studio album, and for those of you who don't know Nazareth, they're kind of a Scottish hard rock band. So I haven't listened to this yet, but definitely going to listen to this and see if I really enjoy Nazareth. Alright, last but not least, for those of you who know me, you will know that when I saw this, I was very excited. This is probably my favorite pickup from that sale, and it is the 1972 album from the Groundhogs called Who Will Save the World? The Mighty Groundhogs. What a cool cover. I love this cover. I love the Groundhogs, but this cover's awesome. It has the original trio, the original lineup from the Groundhogs, so it has Tony McPhee, it has Peter, it has Ken, and like I said, it has this kind of comic book cover. The inside I'll show you, the gatefold, continues on with this comic book theme that kind of touches on things like overpopulation and politics, religion. It's definitely politically and socially motivated, this album, but it's just so cool how they came up with this. So cool. So I was so excited to it even folds down here, to pick this album up. It was, I knew of this album, but I didn't know that that this gatefold was like this, or how it was set up, until I got my hands on a physical copy. So when I saw this, this was the highlight of that sale for me. So awesome, awesome grab for my Groundhogs collection. Anyway, so that's all I have to show you guys from that estate sale. Like I said, super happy with my pickups. I would have had so many more amazing records if it wasn't for that water damage, but super happy and thankful to pick up what I did. And yeah, so with that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys for my next video. Bye.